snowing there.
Yeah, we're gonna get in and take the kids.
It's snowing here too right now, up in the mountains.
Oh, it's so sweet.
Yeah.
I had ice on my car this morning on my windows.
Where do you live?
I'm in Rongo.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's a little colder there.
Little.
I was like, I can't see. Let my car warm up a little bit and cranked it. To defrost it.
I get a kick out of
Yeah, like for once a year.
I get a kick out of these people that in the east that have to get up and do their windshield.
Or dig
I
their
couldn't
car
stand-
out.
Or dig their car out of snow. I just couldn't get back into that.
Anyway.
And people always say, oh, what about the hot summer? And then I say, well, you don't have to shovel sunshine.
Go into the air conditioning.
Yeah, I mean,
Sunblock it.
yeah, you just
You know what
go out to
63
your
is?
Stay inside.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no comparison between that.
Sorry, I missed the last one.
It's like three girls in a row.
Around these meetings, and I didn't realize we had to stay in Yoga 2 extra weeks.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. Now I'm calling up, the person that takes care of the animals and running out of cat food and then litter and I'm like, you know, 3,000 pounds.
It's not funny, I know. Oh. But we had quite a lineup. Didn't we?
You did.
lot of
You got a lot
food.
done. Thank
Oh,
you for
yeah,
keeping
that's right.
everything
I forgot
going.
about the food.
Oh, you had a lot of food?
Yeah, we did.
What did I miss?
The cookies, oh my goodness. The brownies.
Oh, he's a cutie pie.
He's cute.
I know.
You did a show today? I did a talk show with Guthrie Miller
Oh, nice.
this morning actually. And I met with Christine and John for so anytime you want to call that meeting, go do it.
Okay, good, good. How about you?
Yeah. There's still two of you, but
There is.
supposedly.
That's okay. I'll probably get more work done.
Oh, that's
I see
One can
you
stay
guys-
home and rest,
Yeah,
the other one can go to work.
She's missing today.
Both of them?
No,
Just
she's
out
here.
Here.
She just moved over one seat.
Okay, so
Second
she's
extra
missing
chair.
and
Yeah.
who else is missing?
Or I guess from when Vicky's in this.
Yeah, 'cause
Oh,
they-
where is
Dottie,
what's her name?
Tai Chi, there's a Tai Chi presentation.
Oh,
That's,
yeah.
twice a year.
Yes, but she could not.
Okay, she can't miss that.
Yeah. So we said we would cover.
So have you talked to Mary Ann?
Yes,
How is she?
just great.
Aw, she loves Santa
She-
Barbara.
She does. Finally, she is
Good.
having a good time.
Good, good.
Yeah. And
It's
she,
so beautiful there.
yeah, she's doing her gynecology, or what do you call it, or hysterectomy? No.
I can't wait to find out what G
Mary
is.
Ann.
Gynecology, hysterectomy.
What is she doing? Is this on the air?
That was pretty funny.
She will get a kick out of it, trust me. Oh. Anyway, she's way,
Filling all her business, huh?
she's all into it big time.
Oh,
and-
good.
And there's some kind of a history place up there that she can go and.
Oh, and find out all that.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
nice.
don't know how she does it, I mean, she can barely see out of one eye.
Yeah.
Her schedule's busier than ours.
Wow.
Yeah. She's into everything. She's on the
Yes.
board, of
Of
course.
course. We wouldn't expect anything less.
Yes, yes.
She's feisty and
We're
will
gonna have to
always.
go visit her again.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know,
nice.
and I'm scheduled here next
Yes.
month.
Oh, good. Give her send her a love.
Okay, I will.
Tell her, tell her we miss her.
She always asks,
Yes.
what's happening?
Oh, yeah. She's bring her little pillow and.
Yeah.
She's still drinking your champagne?
Oh, yes, yes. And margaritas.
computer, there's this thing that makes it look bad.
Okay.
So she,
She has
pretty sure she has that.
Oh, nice.
So it's like a giant magnifying glass that's in the front of the computer. I've seen that with different people that do it at my office.
Better able to read it.
I haven't seen you for a while.
Well, Julie and I had a different meeting last,
Yeah.
yeah,
Last meeting.
yeah, during the last meeting, they called it at the same exact
Oh.
time,
There's an
which I
acronym.
considered was a conspiracy against us. I'm still considering it,
Well, we were,
because we had to go to one meeting or the other, and.
We were gonna split up and go one,
And one was
but
gonna
then
go
it
one.
was too intense for the other one.
Oh,
We had
okay.
to both go to
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that was interesting.
So far, I don't see Bob. Oh, geez, they want us. You're here.
Is everybody here today?
I think so. Doesn't look like everybody's here.
Do you know what her slogan used to be? Or maybe you do know because you've been here a long time. It used to be, sorry, slim girls only. Of course, we were both very slim, so it didn't matter. Oh, my, oh, that's even before we started then. I forget that you're the high Magnan dude. I forget that. You're,
Yeah.
Joseph, I forget that sometimes.
Welcome, everybody. We're about to start. I have 1 minute before I can, but I'm going to respectfully request that you turn them off. Don't put them in airplane mode. We're not on an airplane, and it affects our very sensitive, new and improved video recording system. So just turn them off. Yeah, did you turn yours off? I didn't turn mine. Everybody turned theirs off but me. Okay, Troublemakers, right? Okay, so it's 3:30, so I'm going to call this meeting to order. This is the Villagefest Board meeting of February 27th, 2018. My name is Mike Siskin. I'm the chairman of the Villagefest Board. I want to welcome all of you in our audience. Thank you for coming and spending some time with us. And the first thing we're going to do is have a roll call.
Chair Ziskin,
I'm here.
Vice Chair Watson is going to be absent today. Board Member Meredith,
Here.
Board Member King,
Here.
Board Member Marilyn Manley,
Here.
Board Member Tina Louise,
Present.
and Board Member Montanti.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. For those of you who just came in, thank you for coming. If you can turn off your cell phones, that would be great. Thank you. Our next order of business is public comments. This is a time when anybody in the community would like to come before us and tell us what we're doing right or wrong or whatever you have to say. Are there any public comments at this time? Okay, there are none. How about board comments? I think we can we go around this way for, we never go counter, we always go this way. Let's go this way.
Okay.
Let's go that way. Okay,
I have a couple of comments.
okay.
I checked out the jewelry vendor that we wanted to definitely
Great.
violation. I actually think,
Is your thing on?
there we go.
Okay,
The jewelry vendor we were looking at, I think we should revoke her license and or her permit until she comes in for a rejury. I mean, Joy and I looked at it, and from what we can remember, what was approved is probably an eighth of what she has out there.
that was my impression too. There was so much there. They couldn't be doing it all by themselves, but should we invite them in to talk
Oh,
about
definitely.
it?
I think they need to be
Okay.
rejury, and I think we need to revoke their permit and not let them sell
Based on,
what they're selling.
They're-
There is
they're
way too much to
violation.
go
Okay.
in to say, pull everything.
I mean, even things like they have neck chains that, like just
Oh, we didn't
chains
approve that.
being sold
Nah, 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 nah.
individually.
No, no, no,
and-
no, no.
Little rhinestone earrings that
Yeah, we just need to
Okay, note to staff. Okay, got it.
Okay.
Anything else?
Yes. I also, remember, there's and I can't remember the name, but we've had them rejuried a couple of times. She makes copper bracelets, and she used to make the bracelets with the Coca-Cola and
Yeah,
type of thing.
yeah.
But she has gold chains out again.
She has what?
Gold chains.
What are you recommending?
Have her rejuried,
Okay,
and I would have her remove her gold.
okay. That's two of the same
Because I
thing.
know we had a problem with her before, where she was bringing in her
Right.
bracelets.
Why don't we invite her in, and we can talk about that at the next meeting?
Then,
Thank you.
I wanted to look at two of our CBD vendors, and I only could get to one. That was Earth Milk. And on their table, they were having cookies made by Angel's Edibles. And I don't remember we approving them for any food.
No, we did not.
I called it's Desert Flower Delivery. They're in Orange County. They would have to get a Riverside Health to go in to see where the kitchen is made, correct?
So cookies.
To sell cookies. Right.
They were
I'm
not
just saying
approved for that.
So there's a violation of that.
Okay, so we have to invite them in too.
Well, it's just, I mean, it's someone who is selling a product that his board has not approved, so we could, we will
Let's
call
invite them in
tomorrow
and
morning.
talk to them.
Right. I
And
also,
we can also provide them a written citation.
right.
Okay,
Also, according to the guidelines that we got from the city attorney, it says that never labeled for use in connection with specific medical conditions, not make claims about CBD as treatment for specific illness, treatment of specific medical ailments disallowed. And in their brochure, they have everything. They have healing cream, shingles cream, lip balm, or skin cream, skin inflammation,
Right.
deep sleep.
deep
a
sleep, that's what I
dietary
need. deep
supplement.
sleep.
Yeah.
According to the FDA, it's not a dietary supplement, it's a drug under,
Okay, let's invite them in.
so I think, and their banner has all of that, saying this, this,
Okay.
this. I really think it's a violation. I asked the gentleman, the two people that were behind the desk did not look familiar to me. Because I remember the first one was very tall.
Tall guy,
blonde,
blonde.
And the other one was an Asian. Two different people. I-
That's not the. Right, that's not the
That's a
same
totally
vendor.
different
Vendor.
vendor you're talking
Oh.
about. That person, the one you're speaking of, has not started.
Okay.
That was a
Oh,
different
okay.
Oh, okay.
So I
That
don't
was
remember.
the man that had the
The tall-
governmental
Yes.
Right, right.
permission.
Right, that-
the
he
Oh,
one
yeah.
like that.
He was a tall
Okay.
gentleman.
He
Was
hasn't
he
But
tall?
not Earth
Asian.
Milk.
So I
Yeah.
must not have been at this meeting when you approved.
Okay,
this.
well, let's invite them in and kick it around.
Will do that.
Thank you.
Okay, and then the other vendor was CBD Works. I went on their website, and all of their products says distributed by, and we don't allow distributors into Villagefest. So it's a violation of that. It looks like there are two, I think they're buying their products out of Colorado. And it's, when you look at CBD Works website and you look at Philamoeba
Whatever it is. yeah.
Biosciences website, very similar, and they talk about proprietary engineering process. I don't remember CBD talking about any type of proprietary engineering process. I think it just mix it in a bowl. So, very similar, and this company, the Bioscience, they are strictly a wholesaler. And they have a private label program where they can put their product, package and everything.
Okay, so that vendor presented at your last board meeting,
Right.
and they presented all the items that at their previous board meeting, this board had requested. So I need to know exactly what it is that you need from them in order to make you feel comfortable with your decision, whatever decision that is, because they did provide everything that the board asked.
Okay, I apologize, I was not at that
No.
meeting. You guys approved them,
Right. And I-
so they must have brought
The
in
problem-
whatever they,
The problem, we approved them for, I think we made a mistake. We should have kept them in arts and crafts to make sure that they're producing the product.
Right,
But we
so
put them
they,
in-
and they are art and craft, and they provided all of the items, including detailed photos of how their product, receipts for their raw material, which is exactly what this board requests
Right.
of any art and craft vendor
Right.
selling any art and craft item.
okay. So what's the issue?
So what I'd like to do is maybe we can bring that, either this board can come to the office and see their application, their entire packet. If you don't feel comfortable with it, then we need to know what you need. so that you feel comfortable with
Well,
your decision.
I'm curious why they're putting distributed by on their product.
Well, then that's the question that we should ask them.
Making it or not.
Right.
That's the
And
question.
they've shown detailed photos of them making their product, including
right.
receipts for all the raw materials.
And I think when they originally started, that was probably their concept. But I think when they found this particular vendor who will package it and label it and everything and make it for them, they're going with this vendor.
Okay. Right. Okay, so what is it that you need? What is it that you need from this vendor?
I'd like to see their packaging.
Their
What-
packaging.
what about their
like,
Packaging and
labeling?
packaging and labeling.
Okay, did you have any
Season-
specific questions for them?
Yes, why do they have distributed? by?
Distributed, right.
Distributed by.
Okay, all right. Why do you have distributed by? It could be that they're a distributor and they're mixing it. I mean, I don't know. Because I thought, that's the company that said they were going to begin to do something in Cathedral City?
Right,
Is
right.
that the one?
Right.
So they say.
I do want to say, I just think that it's important that we handle CBD like we would handle any other of the handcrafted items unless we get some other direction from the
Right.
city otherwise. But it seems like in some cases, they're actually getting extra leeway, and I just don't want to see that happen.
Right.
I mean, the same as anybody else, anybody's making cookies, it's going to the health department, whether CBD in them or not.
Right.
We don't allow
That's
other
correct.
things that you eat
I
at
agree.
the event. So I think as long as we stick to that, then it just really keeps that all in line with what we,
Exactly,
already
yes.
do here.
Right.
I agree.
Which is why I'm saying I want to make sure that we are standing
get
by
it.
the same guidelines. If they're an art and craft vendor, and that's the category that we kept them under, that they are supplying the same materials that we ask of any of our art and craft vendors.
Right.
So I will ask that question, and we can scan the photos that we have. I mean, I know everyone's seen them,
I've seen them. So
but
I
I'm
don't
more
need
than
to-
happy to provide you more information. If you don't feel comfortable with it, you can let us know, and we can ask them for more photos.
No, and I felt, when I voted for them, I felt they were making it, they themselves, the husband and wife. But
Right.
It doesn't look like it's being made by.
Okay,
them.
so the burden's on them to show us that they are in fact making these products, and
And where they're
And why
making
does
it.
it say distributed on their stuff if they're in fact making
Yeah,
it?
exactly.
And then my other question is on the oils, then why are we putting, because they're not handmade. The oils are purchased and just put into bottles.
Well, that's up to this board.
Yeah.
So in the past, when we've had someone who had eucalyptus oil and they mixed their oils, this board has approved something of that
right, they
nature.
created a different
Non-
product from two different
Right,
things.
and they put it in a jar and they labeled
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
This
yeah.
board has approved those type of items.
Right.
So I think we're just trying to stay consistent with the art and craft
Mm-hmm.
category and not put the category of any CBD products under any scrutiny that we wouldn't in art and craft vendor.
Right.
My question in being a new member is, how does that fall under an art and craft? Where's the art and where's the craft in that?
So the art and craft vendor, the category is it needs to be 75% handmade. And that's the board's discretion as to what they consider an art and craft item that is 75% handmade.
So-
people who have bath bombs and lotions and things of that nature fall under our art and craft
Yeah,
category.
the soaps
So
and all
bath bombs do have to be made.
Correct.
But when you put something in a jar, which is oil, that is still not made. When you put something in a jar, that is still not made the 75%.
So again, it's up to this board's discretion, and throughout the years, this board has wavered on that as to what they consider oils, if they do consider them 75% handmade or not, and how much detail goes into the mixture of these types of oils. I have not seen the board approve just a single eucalyptus oil, period, that's it. Sometimes they're mixed differently and the board has approved it, and I've seen them deny some mixtures because they don't agree. So again, this board is a mixture of opinions and thoughts, and the 75% handmade is obviously a vote of this group and how you decide you deem 75% handmade.
So then my question would be to the board is this something we want to table until we discuss it or have more discussion on it so that
Table what?
table any more coming in until we figure out what we're going to do with it? Because it seems to always be a conflict every week.
So if we're gonna table, well, I want us to make sure that we're tabling all oils, not just oils that fall under the CBD category. Sorry, that's not a category, CBD items. Because if you're saying you're gonna table all oils, we need to be inclusive of every type of oil that could come before you.
Well, my question to that would then be, as an arts and craft, you take a eucalyptus oil and blend it with a lavender oil, and then you make a perfume or a spray with that. I can see the art in that. When you take a CBD oil and put it into a bottle, that's not an art.
Okay, again, it's up to this board's discretion, and this is why this board is made up of.
Let me
diverse
make a
group of
suggestion
board
when
members.
you get around to me. I'm going to appoint a task force to fix this, because I'm tired of it. So, let's move on.
That's it for right now?
Okay.
Marie?
I will follow up on your requested
okay.
items tomorrow.
Nothing from me, sir.
Oh, well, something from me. Pertinent to what Ron and Julie just said, and I think how we all feel, I would like to appoint an ad hoc task force that will create a recommendation to this board, and we can do whatever we want with it, tweak it, kill it, do whatever, that will eventually go to the city council that will include a new category. We'll call it oils, or we'll have to come up with CBD oil category. And I'm not looking for all the rules and regulations that the lawyer lady sent. We know what they are. I'm looking for 5 or 6 bullets that would define this category, because Julie is right. It doesn't fit into arts and crafts. It doesn't fit into farmers market. It's its own new thing. And I will guarantee you, a year from now, whoever's sitting on this board is going to be rejiggering this whole discussion because it's going to change. But in the meantime, it's taking too much of our time and is creating a lot of animosity, and I want it stopped. So I was wondering, would you be willing to help us with this?
I would be if city staff thought that I would be an appropriate choice.
I do believe so, yes.
Okay, I want to sit on it, and would you be willing to?
I can say.
Okay, I will guarantee you that we will come up with some recommendations.
Can I just ask
Yeah.
one thing?
Yes.
Would you consider the possibility that this be not just to deal with CBD, but in fact, any of the topicals?
Sure.
And those sort of items, with CBD being one of them? Because I think that Julie has brought up here, and
Yeah.
really and Jasmine, when you think about it, I mean, we have to be very clear on our decisions here, and maybe we've wavered a bit before on allowing in other topicals that were not CBD related,
Sure.
or essential oils, or other things like that. So maybe we should really be reviewing that whole
That's fine.
portion of it.
That's
That's
fine.
a great idea.
And we will meet before the next board meeting, at least that's my goal, and come up with some written recommendations that we all can have fun and games with, okay?
Perfect.
Okay.
Oh,
Thank you.
such fun
Is that all right
games.
with everybody?
I think it's a great idea.
Okay, all right, done. And there is one other thing too, you'll have to indulge me because I don't have my Costco glasses. Oh my God, I can see.
Now
I wanted everybody to see that this is part of how do I look in these? Look all right? Yeah?
great.
These are what's handed out and what's discussed every year when we have our annual ethics training. And it's just public officials' conflict of interest checklist. But I wanted to read a couple things, if you will just please indulge me. The basic rule is this: a public official may not participate in a decision, including trying to influence a decision, if the official has financial or, in some cases, other strong personal interests in that decision. When an official has an interest in a contract, the official's agency may be prevented from even making the contract. Well, we don't make contracts, so that part doesn't really apply to us. The other thing I circled is what they call other personal interests and biases. We all have those, so let's admit that. The official has important but not financial personal interests or biases, positive or negative, about the facts or the parties that could cast doubt on the official's ability to make a fair decision. And then the third thing that's circled is, even if it's legal, is it ethical? The law sets only minimum standards. Officials should ask themselves whether members of the public will question whether officials, that's us, we're the officials, should act solely in the public interest. If they might, officials should consider excusing themselves voluntarily from that particular decision-making process. And that comports with what our city attorney, Ed
Kotkin.
I can never say his name, what Ed said in his memo to all of us. I don't think this rates any discussion. Put it in your notebook unless anybody would like to discuss it. I'm just throwing it out there.
Will do, thank you.
Okay? You can have your glasses back. Thanks. Okay. All right, so where are we? Where's my agenda here? Where's the agenda?
Did you give it away?
Yes, yeah. All right, thank you. Comments?
My comments actually were the same as Ron's, because we walked that part of Village Fest together. I was very surprised at that one jewelry booth, because
Yeah.
I could see why there were merchants complaining about it. It was not acceptable at all, what they had there. And I did question a little bit about it, but she said that everything was, in fact, approved, and I knew that it wasn't. That's all.
Anything else? That's it? Tina?
Nothing at this time.
Okay, those are all the board comments. Do we have any correspondence? It says none on here, but I don't know if any came in. Perfect. Okay, the next order of business is our consent calendar. These items can be approved with one motion, or we can pull them apart if anybody wants to question anything on either of them. The first is the posting of the agenda, and the second is the approval of the minutes. I can't vote on the approval of the minutes of the last meeting because I wasn't here. So
I'll
Oh,
make a
you
motion to
weren't
accept.
I don't believe we actually have a quorum to approve those minutes.
we don't?
No,
No,
Julie and I
because-
weren't here either.
Right.
We can't approve the
We
minutes.
need at least 4 votes. and
Okay.
We don't have enough, so we'll just postpone that to the next agenda.
We're going to, right. We can approve the agenda.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve consent calendar 4A.
Second?
I will second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, that's approved. The approval of the minutes has to wait till the next meeting because we don't have a quorum.
Chair
Okay.
Ziskin?
Yes.
If you would indulge us,
Mm-hmm.
we had to request the assistance of a translator for one of your vendors who are going to present to you today, and that is item 5G.
Uh-huh.
I'd like to see if we could pull that person to the front so that that staff person could get back to their everyday job.
Absolutely, absolutely. So our first proposed vendor is Martha Elvia Hernandez. And Martha is arts and crafts, jewelry, rings, necklaces, bracelets, and earrings. You're not Martha. Hi, Art. Art, what does your shirt say? I can't read the. Oh, I know
He's
you.
going to translate, yeah.
Okay.
You got the squeaky chair.
No, I got the,
Can you,
Yeah.
yes, the microphone, please?
Yeah,
yeah, it's just the chair.
yeah. Which one is speaking? Which one is going to speak?
No. He's the-
L?
Yeah. So you hold the microphone, take it off of the stand. please.
Quita el micrófono y...
Yeah, perfect.
Yes,
Can
okay.
you sing?
Not really. I don't have a nice voice.
Okay, go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Carlos Trujillo. My partner is Marta Hernandez and Segundo Lema. We had a short history in our yacht, but we had a big passion for the art and handmade work. Basically, we had the artisanal work, and so we provided the photos, and we had samples here.
So you're going to show us the,
Yes,
Okay.
we're going to choose the samples.
okay, perfect.
Hello.
Yes. He's from Ecuador. He's
Who is Martha?
Jeez, Martha.
Oh, you're Martha, okay. Great.
Where's Dottie?
Right.
Dottie, like,
That's for your neck. Necklace.
Yeah. Yeah, pass him this way.
Ay, ya de aquel lado.
That's some clam.
Maybe it's
More like it to be a bathing
We have been working in the fashion shows and fundraisers. We work with the young people.
I think it's a purse. Is it a purse?
No, it's one-sided.
Is that a necklace or qué es
This is
esto?
a necklace.
All right.
Right.
It's got my name all over it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, it's a
Yeah.
Marge,
It's just a little heavy, honey, I know, but it's a little heavy for you. But it's beautiful,
Beautiful.
really. Is that 14 karat gold?
No.
Wire wrap jewelry?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, got it.
So they do all the wrapping of the wires?
Yes.
Okay, now, it's unclear to me, are all of you the artists, or is there just one artist?
Both of them, and my job is basically doing the advertising and promote the
Okay,
events.
so who makes these?
Segundo and Marta.
Both of you?
Yes.
Okay.
And also I help you out.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not.
You get to
Good.
carry the box.
That's true.
That's very, very lovely. Nice.
Yeah.
This is wire wrap jewelry?
This is all
Oh, boy.
but this is
Oh,
What is-
Tina,
now-
here comes some
now,
more.
what the hell
Here,
is
Joy, I found your ring.
glued. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I needed that. Okay, so it's, you know, wire wrap.
So far I'm seeing wire wrap.
Yeah.
But I got these two pieces.
And she rolls this,
Yes.
a lot of work.
And where do you get the stones?
We get the stones from Arizona, and some of them from Ecuador, Colombia, Brazil.
Oh, you like that?
Yes.
You need a matching necklace.
So when you, excuse me, so when you say that
Yeah, this
you
is
get the
enough,
stones, I don't
this
know
is-
I'm going to try to say everything right here. So I don't know if when you're saying that you get the stones from Arizona, Ecuador, Brazil, so are you purchasing them from there, or
We had
are
a-
you mining
No,
stones?
it's through a company. It's based on
Yes.
Arizona.
Thank you.
Okay, but the stones come from the
They-
ground in Arizona, or just the company is
No,
Arizona?
No,
They're
the company
buying.
ran it to
Okay.
different countries.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Oh, it's translucent, I like
Okay, so
Okay.
here's the,
Okay, I-
oh, I don't know how to pick this back up. So, pull it.
Okay.
It's heavy.
Is there any booth
Oh, you
pictures here?
hold it yourself.
I didn't see. See if you see. a booth.
Recently, we have been working on Indio,
I didn't see
on
it.
it's the Datil Feria. Day Festival, that's correct.
Is there a picture of the booth, your table and everything? Do you have a?
No.
Price.
No. Okay.
Le pusiste oh, yeah.
What's like their,
¿Tienes la foto del booth?
what's like some of their prices? I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yes, we have the picture with it.
Oh, here.
Oh, here it is.
Here, yeah. Yeah.
Here it is. If that's the, this is it? This is your display?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
What's the chain made out of? Because that's a very thick chain.
It is.
Here's
What are the
another.
chains made out of?
¿De qué están hechas las cadenas?
Estas están hechas, ¿cuál es el material que usas en esto, segundo? ¿Qué material? El material de este es cobre.
Copper?
Yes.
And plated? Gold?
It's got to be plated.
Just curious.
Oh, look, he put it on her. Okay. This is the booth, you guys. Okay. Okay. I think we
I have a
can,
question.
yes, go ahead.
Premier Impacto?
Yeah, Premier Impacto. ¿Qué es esto? Premier Impacto.
This was this is a program. This is a show, a TV show, in the Latin channel.
Oh.
And he was invited to the
Oh.
shows. Primer
Okay.
Impacto.
Okay.
Salió en el...
Yes.
Yeah, it's a very popular Spanish program and they were
I know.
invited.
He was invited because él es indígena ecuatoriano.
Okay.
Él es un indígena ecuatoriano, es pintor, ha escrito libros
Full
también.
body.
Oh,
Looks like my bathing suit.
I know. And not much else.
It's not much size, but it's.
We get the idea. It's very beautiful,
It's
actually.
very unusual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
let's start with questions. Tina, do you have any questions?
I don't know, I want one of each, please. Questions, thank you.
No questions. How
I
about
don't
you?
have any questions.
I have no questions. Do you have questions?
No, I asked where these stones came from.
Okay.
Okay.
And, Mr. King, do you have any?
Where's your studio, where you make these?
Donde,
We had been working in LA
LA,
and also in Palm Desert.
In Palm Desert.
Yeah.
Okay.
Marta lives in Palm Desert for the last 25 years.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I do have one question. So on,
Jeez.
sorry, I'm gonna have to go over there.
You knock yourself
You
out.
have more jewelry to your right.
I was wondering.
I didn't do
Bring it
that.
back there so I could say it.
Something dinged. That wasn't me.
The necklace?
Which way was this coming?
That goes that way.
Yeah, there was that one in the picture that had a lot of things that looked like they were glued to it and not like.
I don't see, I know, I saw that photo too, but I don't see any of these products.
Well,
Maybe we already sell it.
yeah, but because these are.
Where are you in Palm Desert? Where are you abouts in Palm Desert?
I'm sorry?
¿En dónde está en Palm Desert? El lugar donde está?
San Diego.
Washington?
In your home, dear.
Yes, yes, it's
Okay.
in home. We don't have the,
Okay.
Okay, never mind on my question.
Okay, are you good?
Well, I thought that those pieces were glued on, but they're not. They're
They're
wire
not.
wrapped
No,
on.
it's
So they're wire wrapped, so they're
Not
okay.
As long as everything is wire wrapped jewelry.
yes.
Right. As long as everything has to be wire wrapped,
Your
so.
price range?
It's $50, $40, $30, depend on the,
Okay.
I have a
Yes.
I'm sorry. ¿Y sí le entendió que todo tiene que ser
sí,
Okay.
no usamos glue,
Okay.
no usamos glue.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah.
thought.
Gracias.
You had a question?
My question is about the chains that your pieces are on. Do you order those, the necklace part, chain?
The cadena.
¿De
No.
dónde consiguen las cadenas?
The same company, from Arizona.
Okay,
same company
okay, so
from
she
Arizona.
doesn't make the change, but she
No,
wire
we
wraps the
borrow
jewelry.
we borrow
Sure.
the chains, and
Yeah.
he make the according to your size.
Of course.
Yes.
Okay.
But you don't sell the chains separate. They
No.
only are with
No,
the
no,
the
only with-
jewelry.
They're part of the
Yes,
jewelry.
Only with jewelry.
Okay.
Right.
You
Now,
got it.
on the cuffs, do you make the cuff or do you buy the cuff?
What cuff?
This one?
No, the bracelet.
Yes.
Those. Do you buy the cuff or do you make the cuff?
Oh, yeah, we bought it.
You buy the cuff.
Yes.
But the stone is wire wrapped onto the cuff.
Okay, right. Got it.
I thought that they were glued, but they weren't.
No, we don't use glue.
Yeah, I see that closer look,
Everything,
I
yeah,
see.
everything is
Okay,
handmade.
I've seen a lot of jewelry. Okay, beautiful stuff. Would somebody like to make a motion?
Oh, can I just ask one
Of
other?
course.
Is there a possibility you could make jewelry at your booth?
Yes, of course.
people really
He's
like
gonna
that.
be there.
People like
making-
to see-
You know what? Now we are working with the names, and so if you are there and you want a necklace or maybe a bracelet, we can do it with your name.
Oh, nice.
So when the people come to the booth, they ask for my name, Carlos, and so we write it down. They went around the different.
Oh,
really?
nice.
2 minutes.
No, two? Yeah, two, yeah.
Who makes them? ¿Quién hace? ¿Usted o usted?
Both of them.
Oh, I'm impressed.
Beautiful.
Okay, somebody make a motion.
And don't use the glue.
No
I
glue.
see that now.
No.
I'm going to make a motion to approve this wire wrap jewelry vendor for Villagefest.
And I'll second that.
Okay, discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
It carries unanimously. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tengo mucho gusto conocerla.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Now get back to
Yes.
work.
Thank you very much. So what we have to do next?
Seas.
See you in 2 weeks in
What we have to
Bogota.
do
You see
Oh,
her?
my gosh, I'm impressed. So we will see you on the street.
Okay.
Okay,
We were happy to have you here.
wonderful.
Thank you.
Okay, look forward.
I know. It was you, you have no idea.
All right.
Okay,
One down.
okay, one down. Where are we?
Yeah,
Okay, Wanda Gale Design, Wanda Borisenko, I hope I didn't mess up Wanda's name. Is Wanda here? Hi, Wanda, come on up. Why don't you come over on this side while they clean up on that side?
Welcome.
Hi. Fine, thank you. Can you do me a favor, pull the microphone off and just... Yeah, you go right ahead.
We've seen this vendor before.
Yeah, oh yes, oh yes. Beautifully displayed stuff. Are you adding?
No, you wanted pieces that were more wire wrapped, and we didn't get to that last time because there were so many people presenting. So I came back to just bring my
Thank you.
my
Okay.
more wrapped pieces.
Okay.
So my name's Wanda. My business is Wanda Gale Design. I focus on handcrafted jewelry. So I make every single piece. I'm based out of Los Angeles, and the basis of how I make my pieces, I mostly do it with wire wrapping because it gives me the most control over what I'm doing. So I can form the wire that I want, I can make the loops, and then I can finish it very cleanly. It makes it very strong. And by doing this, I can hang my stones on chain, I can build clusters, I can build stones into chain, and then I can also make my own chain from scratch. I use all semi-precious and precious stones, ranging from citrines, garnets, topaz, to diamonds. I use solid gold, 14-karat gold fill, and sterling silver.
And where do you get your stones? One?
My stones, I have a few different suppliers that I work with. One that I mostly work with, his family actually does the mining, the cutting, and brings it to me. They're based out of India. I don't do the cutting, I just get to pick the stones that I love. So I just love the natural, organic qualities. All of this is completely hand done. I don't set the stone in the gold. I have that done for me. But all of these chains, I do hand make all the wire. So I brought some rings, my earrings, some bracelets, and my hand bracelets.
You're telling me. Keep those there.
Yes.
Good looking chest, honey, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are all, those are very, very fine. Those are tiny black diamonds on that one, and that one's done in the solid gold.
Yeah.
You must have really good eyes.
I have my moments. I can work until my eyes start to cross, and then I'm done for the day.
That's so fine.
This is darling, too. There you go.
What a beautiful hand.
When you're doing these, do you have like a magnifying glass?
No, no.
Well, you got good eyes.
I need glasses for driving, not for doing this yet.
You don't want that to change soon.
No. And then I'll
Now,
just pass some of the
tell us
earrings
about
to you, too.
This.
Yes.
The gold.
That I don't do.
Yeah.
This I have a gentleman, he's actually in West Hollywood as well, he's right down the street from me. And I choose the stones and then I bring them to him, and he sets these with me because he has a huge vat of gold. So we take this, we paint copper around it, and then we put it in a vat, and then we electrify it basically, and then the gold adheres to this.
You do it?
I do not do it. I have somebody who does that for me.
And then you do all the other?
Yeah.
Correct, yes.
This is on it.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Love it.
That was
this
something I was wondering about.
What's that?
That
This,
same
yeah.
question about who's
Who does what?
who's plating those. But really, it's this twisting of the wire that we requested. that she-
Yeah, and I did bring a couple of the styles that you have in those photos there as well, and then I brought my process photos as well, just in case those ones got misplaced.
Okay. Can you enlighten me? Was this vendor approved at the last meeting?
Now, last time I started by showing you simpler pieces, and that's not what you were wanting from me. This is what you were
Okay.
wanting. But we didn't get to these pieces last time because
okay, so we need
the
to
meeting
approve
ran
these
really
if we-
long.
Okay, got it.
Yep.
And it's not a question, but I do want to say thank you for addressing what we asked.
Of course.
And I'm sure that you could see that the jewelry category could be really complicated here because a lot of people bring things that they didn't make. And then it is an unfair advantage for the businesses on the street. Plus, it just doesn't fulfill the rules and regulations. So
Right.
I'm glad that you understood that
Right.
and that you came back here with exquisite
Thank you.
jewelry.
Well, and I drove out a couple times. I had a couple events at DreamWorks and then on Thursdays, and then I drove out afterwards to kind of check and see what was available on the street as well. So I just wanted to be sure that I can go from, the pieces that are fully wire wrapped to things that are more simple like this, because you have to have a variety
Yeah,
for
of course.
people.
So do you actually drill little teeny tiny holes?
I
in
do
them?
not drill the holes. You actually can buy those by the strand.
Already
Correct,
put
yes.
the hole in them? Mm-hmm. See, I know, I'm learning.
Yeah, but what,
That's not the, the
right, but
the
by
thing is
doing
a-
the
No picture of a booth.
Twisting.
the twisting.
I sent that before.
What?
You should have that.
What?
If not, I
Was
can
it?
pull one up on my phone for you.
It was
I
stunning.
didn't see those.
I
Oh,
do
I'm
remember
sorry.
it was a good
My fault.
booth.
Yeah.
It was a good booth. Okay, does anybody have any questions that we, no? Okay, somebody like to make a motion to,
I'll make a motion that we accept this twisted wire jeweler into Villagefest with these lovely
Just a little
pieces.
twisted.
Yeah, you're a little twisted. Well, I'm more twisted than you,
okay,
girl.
I need to hear a second.
I'll second.
Okay, discussion.
I didn't see a booth picture.
I think we had it last time, and
She had it, she had it.
Yeah, and I'm
Okay.
happy to pull one up on the
Yeah.
phone if it doesn't disrupt
No,
your
no, as long as
system too
we
much.
had it. We had it. Any other discussion?
There.
Okay, all in favor?
I
Aye.
Opposed? It carries. Welcome. Thank you for
Thank
coming
Thank you.
back.
Thank you, I
Stuff is
appreciate it.
beautiful.
No problem.
You're a good problem solver.
Yeah, oh my
I
God, yes.
try. Although maybe not so good, because I don't know if I can get this back on. There we
Oh.
go.
Okay, here's her folder back.
Wanda, we will see you on the street.
Yes,
Okay.
Thank you.
We're the street cops, so.
Yes, so watch out.
Hope
Where
Hope
is?
McCants, where's Hope? Hi, Hope. Come on up.
Yeah.
Hope's Gourmet House of Wax
Woo.
is a current vendor, and she wants to add some handmade lotion, vases, and headwear.
Interesting.
Great.
I remember her. She was the one that was doing some
She was with the
nonprofit.
church first,
The church, yeah.
and then we didn't allow that, so she got her own
That-
booth.
Actually, that helped us change our rules
Yes,
and
it did.
regulations.
It did.
Hi there.
Hello again, how are you?
Hi.
If you remember me, I'm the one
Of course we
with the
remember you.
happy candles with the
Yeah.
dessert candles. Everybody was hungry. So, along with my wax company, I decided to make lotions and stuff because I have a child that has bad skin and stuff, and I started using these lotions. They're made with butter, with the body butter and some essential oils. I'm gonna pass them around. Some essential oils. They're different flavors. I only brought the lavender and wheatgrass for some odd reason. I don't know why. But I have the lavender and wheatgrass. I do have oatmeal stuff to help people's skin. That is my goal. That's my mission, is to help people with troubled skin. I don't put a lot of essential oils, if any, in it. I don't put a lot of nut butters and fragrance and stuff. Some of them are fragrance, like that one's a lavender, but that was because I needed to relax. And I love the smell of lavender, and I love what it does to my skin, and it helps me when I breathe it in. It helps me just to calm down sometimes. I get a little hyper. I have 12 children, so I have a right to be hyper.
Is this one of the helpers right here?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's my little grandson. He decided that he wanted to blend the lotion.
That's adorable.
Oh, my.
Helper helping with the mixer.
A lot of my grandkids come to my booth because I'm trying to teach them to be entrepreneurs also. So they come and they try to help me out and everything. Sometimes they get in the way. But other than that, then I have, hang on, I gotta. These are still kind of warm because at the last minute, oh, I forgot to put the wax in. So these are still kind of warm, but these are my handmade candles. Hold holders. There's the holders that you know, really have to put. So it's pretty.
That's cool.
Thank you.
Yep, you
then
can
we
see,
have-
she has good pictures.
This is, she mixes these.
Mm-hmm. I think these are the same.
Yep.
Those are very cool.
They're all handmade. I put them by myself. And sometimes my grandkids. They come in a lot. But this is an entire set.
So Hope, you blend all of these things in
mix
your
them up.
kitchen?
In my,
Oh.
as you see, this one is my personal.
I see that.
And then I have the last one.
Oh, this is different.
Oh, it is cool.
Yeah.
She just made
That was a lot. So those are all handcrafted and handmade by me. I do a lot of bling work, but because of the candles and how I really want to push the candles, because I get a lot of, can you eat that? And I kind of got up to here to that one. So I was trying to give varieties of the candles, so I made the candle holders. And unfortunately, I don't know what I was thinking of, but I forgot the headband. So I didn't even bring the headbands. I'm so sorry. So I'll table that or something.
Are the headbands made the same way?
The headbands are made the same with the blings, wrapped in either blings or it has like a little rose or something.
These things on
Yeah. There's a picture of one of.
Yeah.
There's a design going on here. Is this one?
No.
That's mine.
Look at it, you can make, that would be part of your life.
Yeah, be part of your life.
What? I really thought it was.
Did you? Oh my God. She's so old, she wouldn't be interested.
Don't put any more ice.
I know, right? You'll be back with mugs next time.
Who has any questions? Who has any questions for?
Where is your home, Hope? Is it?
My husband does the hot spring.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Yeah, so you look.
Any other questions?
I have a couple
Yes.
questions. Your recipe for your lotion, where did you get it, or how did you mix it, or?
Sorry. Stop yelling at you guys. I mix the body, it could be shea butter, mango butter, rice bran, or, you know, whatever kicks my fancy that day. And then some oil, some carrier oil like grapeseed or whatever. And then I emulsify blend it, which means that's the little handheld that you saw my grandson with. It actually fuses it together. Sometimes there's aloe in it, you know, all the natural stuff.
All natural stuff. Okay, but you mix them, you
Yeah,
get the
I mix them
ingredients and you
together.
mix them together, and then you put them in the little jars.
In the little jars, yeah.
Okay.
And who does your labeling?
I do.
Okay. Any other questions? Somebody make a motion? I'll make a motion. I move that we approve this vendor for all of these products.
I'll second. Discussion?
Well, I'm sorry. With the exception of the headwear. We're going to need to see that. So next time you.
Yeah.
Okay. With the exception of the headwear.
I'll second.
And Ron seconds. Discussion?
Well, one of the things that I just did want to say was, you know, sometimes in an item where there are things affixed to something, I would not consider that within the rules. But I think that the extent of the designs here surpass that.
Yes.
And, you know, for having her own, just her own design here, really, you know, so that these items, these candle holders, for example, just become the canvas for the design that she's putting on that because of the intricacy of it. So that's my opinion on it.
Okay. I think that's valid. Anybody else? All in favor?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I just have a we've had so much information on guidelines for packaging and labeling on products like this. And I'm wondering, is she meeting the guidelines?
What
It
are
has
the
the
guidelines?
ingredients.
It has the ingredients on there, and that's good enough for me. Are there
What-
any other guidelines
Yeah,
we need to
Are we
worry
missing
about? What are we
something on
missing?
it?
I don't know, I'm not an
Oh,
expert on it. So
I
I'm just
thought you
questioning,
had one
is
you were
this
gonna bring
have-
up.
I put the ingredients and the ounces on there,
Uh-huh.
I let it know, I think that's the one, I let it know that it was handmade. Is that the one?
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
and your contact information
And
in
my
case there's a
contact
problem.
information.
Yeah, in case there's a problem,
Right.
we can contact, the customer can contact her.
How about how to apply it, or what are the uses for, or anything? I mean,
I
I
don't
don't-
know.
I
if
didn't
we've
read it. I
required
didn't read it.
before.
there isn't.
There isn't any.
I think that maybe in the new subcommittee, that might be ad hoc subcommittee, that
Right.
might be something that we
We should consider.
look into.
Right, how to,
So would you
Maybe.
rather hold this out until?
No, I think it's,
that, or-
no, I think it's
I
okay, because
okay.
it's a topical. We can go either way on that.
But do us a favor and don't put any CBD in that.
Yeah,
Only because it's not, we're just going through that discussion,
Yeah,
that's
I
all.
Again-
heard
Right.
that, I was watching
Yeah.
it, I thought, phew, not me.
Hope, on your cream, what is it, the identity, what is it saying?
What is it for?
What is it for?
It's lotion.
Yeah,
It's just face
skin.
lotion. I mean,
Well,
it's just-
It just says lotion on it?
It's lotion.
Okay.
It just tells you the ingredients.
Right.
And if most people know, if their skin is, what their skin needs, in other words. My bone-
So it's just,
Okay.
so it's just a skin lotion.
Right, okay.
Yeah,
general
okay, we're
skin
fine,
lotion.
that's fine.
Identifying
I
what's
don't
in
know,
there.
I don't know if I'd call that a lotion, I'd call that more of a salve.
A salve.
salve or
Yeah, that's what it
cream.
seems like.
Or an
Not a
oint-
cream, it's not cream.
Not a
either,
cream,
so I would call
salve.
it a
Yeah,
salve.
because it's
Salve.
almost solid, isn't it?
Yeah, because there's no water in it at
Yeah.
all. There's no
Right,
water.
Right,
So
right.
you might want to consider that change, because, a lotion's more liquidy, and that seems pretty solid, so that's something that
It's a
you
label change.
might want to consider.
Okay, did you have anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? No, it carries. Thank you. Good luck with them. And those beautiful products, too. Yeah, good luck with that. You got 50 pounds of stuff there. Jennifer, where's Jennifer? Hi, Jennifer. Hi. Jennifer Henley is Moon Femme Collection, Arts and Crafts, handmade jewelry, necklaces, earrings, and rings. I saw them when I was walking in. They're beautiful. Right.
So Ms. Hope, we will see you on the street.
Yes.
Okay,
I'll still be there.
okay.
I brought some extra processing knives.
Okay. Well, here, we'll pass.
We'll pass them around for you.
Welcome, Jennifer.
Hello.
Yeah, take that right off so you can talk.
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous, so
Oh, don't
please
worry about
excuse
it.
my
We're-
nerves.
We're easy.
So are we.
Yeah, we're easy.
Thank you so much for having me. I just celebrated my 3-year anniversary with Moon Femme Collection this last November, doing it full time. It's my baby. I'm a glass bead artist, and actually, I don't know the best way to show these. They're kind of just around here.
Yeah, we'll pass it around.
Okay.
So these are glass beads from, I get the bulk glass from, should I do it over there? Okay. I get the bulk glass from Murano, Italy, the foundry's over there.
Speak up right in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
So they come in raw glass rods, and then I use a minor bench burner torch, which is a combination of oxygen and propane. And I play with the flame based on the particular glass that I have. So I really love working with metal-based glass. And with that, I use a reduction flame that strikes the metallic in those glass beads, which has been my favorite. I also have some of the raw guys before I add them to the designs.
And once they're molten, I shape them. I add gold frit, silver leaf. I use mandrels to kind of play around a little bit more with points. And then I throw it in a bead kiln, which is specialized for beads, a little cute little door. And kiln and nail it for about 9 to 10 hours, so it's really sturdy. And then after they're nailed, I use a bead reamer and I clean out the actual hole and then design them. Then they're my raw materials, and I use brass and copper and vintage chain. I've been really inspired by sacred geometry in my pieces, and also the healing properties of brass and copper.
So what you put in the kiln is the piece of glass.
Yeah, it's the glass that I've manipulated.
So putting it in the kiln does what to it?
It strengthens it.
Really?
So my torch, the glass gets up to 900 to 1200 degrees. And if the bead cools slowly, then it will break. So then nailing it, it gets to its relief point so that they'll last virtually for years and years.
What temperature do you fire it at?
I fire it at, 2400.
Wow.
And then it slows down. So it's a ramp cycle based on the size of the beads. So it will ramp down a few hundred degrees every hour.
So long.
Yeah, it takes a while. Mine's digitally controlled, which is lucky for me because I can busy myself.
Chain here, honey.
Yeah, so I import it twice a year from this amazing worker co-op in Istanbul. It's raw brass, so it's nickel-free. There's no chemical lacquer, so that makes it really low maintenance. I search actually for vintage brass chain. That's my love, is to get the vintage stuff. But for the raw brass that is not vintage, I tell people, since you don't have to worry about stripping it, just a little still wool every once in a blue moon, or even some lemon juice. We'll eat at the patina.
Lemon juice?
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's lovely, but I do want to ask you, so I see that this work here has your glass beads.
Yeah.
But I saw some other things in here that weren't your glass beads, and I was just wondering if you were going to be presenting all of your line?
I
or
do
just the
stonework
glass
as
bead?
well, but I don't have access to my large materials or my large studio in Seattle. So I won't have my tumbler or some of the large drill presses. So I have my little torch and my kiln though with me, so glass.
So
glass moves with
so
me.
the application, though, is
Is for the
correct in
glass.
that it's just going to be the glass? Terrific. These are stunning.
Thank
I
you.
mean,
They are.
really beautiful. And a lot of work goes into that. Yeah, that's
They're my favorite
nothing
thing to
that you
do.
just-
It's going to be the necklaces too, right?
Yes, but I just mean it's only the
Things that have
bead
the
focal
glass
point
beads.
on it, not any of the stone, because we didn't see that. So that was why I was asking.
Okay.
And I also do bracelets and earrings as well, but I figured these would be easier to kind of show.
But everything that you do will have
All
your
glass.
glass beads on it.
Okay. That sounds
Yeah,
like
I
a
see
plan.
earrings back
Oh, yeah. Those are some of my buddies.
I wanted to say that I think this is a fabulous presentation.
It is really
I think the
good.
artwork is fabulous. This is what I call
this is-
professional.
Yeah.
This is the gold
Everybody
standard.
This is
should
fabulous.
do that.
I wish everybody
Everybody
would do it
gets something
this.
like
Makes it a
this.
lot easier for
That shows
us.
product, and then I thought.
And the whole
And the
process.
booth, the booth is gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
But the thing I found really interesting was her process, step by step. That
It's-
process
And she
overview.
could answer her process.
Yeah, yes.
It really makes, it shows.
He quizzed her. She had the right answer, 2,400.
Got it. Okay. Anybody have any other questions for the vendor?
I'll make a motion.
I-
Oh, no, go ahead, Julie.
I'd like to make a motion to enter Moon Femin as a vendor.
Okay,
Seconded.
okay. Discussion?
Would you mind, though, making sure to say that it's for the glass bead jewelry and ain't, just because that's all that came before us?
For the glass bead jewelry, and when you're ready with the stone, bring it
Yeah.
back.
Okay, are you okay with that? Second?
Oh, yeah, second.
Okay, discussion? Hearing none? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
carries.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Welcome.
Beautiful, beautiful stuff.
Did you get that bracelet from the last vendor that we just
Oh, no.
approved?
This is a Goodwill find.
Okay,
Thank you again.
thank you.
Thank you.
We will see you on the street, Jenny.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a good idea, too.
Shay Klein, El Ordo Madre Arts and Crafts, aromatherapy, tonic sprays, beard oil, muscle rub, balms. Hi there.
Welcome.
So my business
If you could
is-
just talk into the mic.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, that's all right. My name's Shay Klein, and my business is kind of specific to the conversation you guys were having earlier. It's pretty much right up that alley.
Welcome to our world.
I have the pictures of how I make my product. I didn't include that with my application checklist stuff because I didn't know I was considered arts and crafts. But these are some of my products. I am based out of Joshua Tree. I source my ingredients from companies that are sustainable, all natural. I try to move towards organic ingredients. Sometimes organic doesn't mean it's the best for you. So I like to just include that my products are sustainable. So I also have aromatherapy sprays. There's facial tonic mist. I do muscle rubs with emu oil. I also do a beard oil. I have a headache roll-on. Do you want me to pass these around so you can get looking at them? Sorry.
And where do you blend all of these?
I do this I have an Airbnb house that I do that's clean, simple. It's the kitchen that I work out of.
Okay.
That's in Joshua Tree.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you guys would be spraying these and all that, so I brought my testers, just in case you did want to do that. Some of the questions that you guys were asking earlier, like with the labeling and all that, the FDA does require about 5 to 7 guidelines that you need to put on your packaging, just to make sure you're following the rules, and your address, a contact is one of them, ounces, your business name, and a lot of them want to see if you're claiming to do something for that person or a certain element, I guess you could say. Like a headache, yeah. You need to have something stated like that your products have not been approved by the FDA and they're not going to cure, prevent, and do anything like that. So.
And that has to be on the bottle?
Not the bottle itself. It just needs to be, the customer needs to be able to see that. So like other places that I've vended at, I've had like a little printout of that. So just like a disclaimer. What else? I just all of my ingredients, I can get analysis reports from the company that I get them from. A lot of them are from a place in Oregon. And I also sell online. I do. I sell in a lot of shops in Yucca Valley and Joshua Tree, kind of like smaller shops. I have a place, the health food store here actually, that's off of Ramon and Sunset. I got my products in there. So.
Okay. Nature.
Nature, yes.
Yeah,
Nature's
yeah,
Cafe. Yeah,
great.
that's a great spot.
So is this called the balm or salve or what?
I call that a muscle rub.
A muscle rub.
Yeah.
So these aromatherapy sprays that I brought are the top sellers. The Palo Santo blend is really nice for just mental cleansing. There's the Desert Generator, La Luna, and then a shop that I sell out had me do a Hipster Be Gone blend, so that one's fun.
Can I buy that?
I love the container.
I do too. Your container on your rubs is so neat.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you actually pour into those?
I pour into those, yep.
So it's heated up, I assume, right? And then
Yeah,
when
I
it
melt
cools off,
down
it hardens
everything.
up?
Yeah, I start with the organic beeswax first, and then there's the coconut oil and the other oils that go in there as well, and it's the process.
Smells very nice.
This, is also the same one, but it's kind of smells better because it's been
Have
like
fun.
digged in and used and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah,
you can get the fragrance out of that one a lot more.
I just have a quick question. It says shake well, spray generously on gear and air dry. What is gear?
When I first started with my aromatherapy products, I did gear spray for
Yoga mats.
anything. It was kind of giving people an idea how to use their aromatherapy spray. Like you could spray it on a pillow, you could spray it potentially on your skin, a yoga mat, anything like that to kind of help change your headset.
Yeah. Make your
I
yoga
feel like
mat not
essential
stink.
oils is having a big movement, and I have taken a class and all that, so I feel like my products are unique and genuine. Like I have the sense that no one else has, and people tend to like them. So.
Obviously.
And what is hipsters? Is it a hipster be gone? What is
Hipster is
Is
just
a
a term
millennial.
for
Weed be gone?
They're also
Yes.
having a movement right now and taking over the desert and Joshua Tree. So
That's
it's,
what I thought,
it's kind
but
of
I
like a
wasn't-
joke, yeah.
That's a good one.
That
Well,
is
where
funny.
would you use this? On your hipster?
Yeah.
Find a
Directly.
hipster first.
Yeah, just
You're my hipster.
God.
Oh, this one's strong.
Hey, I got a couple other ideas too now. Yeah.
Price range goes from $12 to $22 for the facial tonic. There's organic rose hydrosol in there, which is rose water, and that stuff is pretty expensive. There's another, the Midnight Wander facial tonic mist has a lavender hydrosol. So I try to keep it as cheap as possible because I want it to be affordable to everybody. I want a lot of people to be able to use healthier alternatives than just Bengay or Icy Hot and things like that. So
So what I like about these products, they're properly labeled. It is an art and craft because it's mixing her essential oils into something to create another entity.
Right.
That's what I like
Not
about
just
it.
Right.
pouring
It's not pouring
one thing
oil
that
into
you
a
want
jar
into your
and
own
saying
bottle.
this is a tincture.
I agree totally, Julie. Look at how many times we agree now. We're in Villagefest together.
Amazing.
No, I know. I don't know what to say. Okay.
Muscle rub.
I used it on
really
my,
nice.
actually, I used it on my thumb
Oh, you
right
got a
here.
thing? I got a thing there too on my left.
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions?
Gosh, no, I love your.
Somebody make a motion?
I make a motion that we accept this vendor.
I'll second that.
Okay, discussion? Hearing none? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It carries. Welcome.
thank you
We
so
will
much.
see you on the
So
street.
sweet.
Awesome.
Those
I'm excited.
great fragrances.
Can't wait. Thank you.
You bet.
Okay,
The test.
okay.
I smell the
Excited
ball
I know this.
I'm going to invest in that
Internal
hipster.
smell.
The hipster? Okay. Okay, the next guest is Mystic Valley CBD.
Wait, what happened to Revenge?
What revenge?
She's at down.
He's down at the bottom.
She's at I. Did she leave?
No.
Oh, she's okay.
She's there.
Oh, it's
Right.
that's on the new agenda.
Right.
You
Is-
have
is-
that new agenda. Okay, I thought she wasn't on the
Is
agenda.
Amy Weekslin here? Is Amy here? Amy's not here. Okay, good. Have to deal with that again. Okay. Muse, MRDN, is that a typo?
Oh, Amy's not here.
Amy's not here.
Okay.
Anna Gino, is Anna here? No. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, good, we're moving
Moving
right
right
along.
along.
McGee Photography, Sean McGee. Hi, Sean.
There
Thank
he
you for
is.
your patience and for waiting
He's
so
been
long.
yawning.
I know.
Wonder why.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yawn.
right.
Aren't you?
Hi, welcome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Nice to have
McGee
you.
Photography.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
I
you
appreciate
bet.
it.
What you got for us?
Well, my name is Sean McGee. I'm a local photographer here in the Valley. I've been doing photography for about like 2 years now.
And my number one love is just showing the beauty to the rest of the valley. So I have some of my prints here to show you guys.
Yeah, just pass
I'll
them
show
around.
you some.
Do you do some framed and some not framed?
Yeah, so
Yes, great.
I just to get things started, I'm kind of getting them matted. So these are kind of just to start off, and then hopefully
Thank you.
when I build up, I'll get some more frames. So this is a.
Oh, I love that.
So that's a shot of my friend. He does calisthenics and free running.
Does he have a death wish or what?
Yeah, I know, right? So I had him wear a mirror mask to like reflect off of on his face.
That's
So
terrific.
he went from a push-up position and he kind of lifted himself in the air to make it look like he was flying. So
Can I ask what speed you shot that at? That's fantastic.
was
You don't
like-
have to tell me if you don't want.
1/500th of a second, something
It's
like
really-
super quick.
Yes.
It took,
It's really a cool
So-
shot.
these are kind of more of my creative shots here. I also have pictures of the valley, but those are kind of just creative shots.
Yeah.
This is.
So is that a person in a mask?
What is this?
So that's my friend also jumping in the air, and it's like a fast shutter speed.
Oh.
And he's like
Weird
right
friends.
over the sun. It's like during sunrise.
I
Strange.
hope you have some of our mountains.
Oh yeah, of course.
Do you? Okay.
So here's some of my landscapes that I have
Friends
here.
can't do that.
Neat.
Really? That's really
So
pretty.
these are gonna be.
Oh, look at that.
That's gonna be my
Where was
metallic
this-
prints.
Where was this shot?
That was a shot on the mountain, our Palm Springs Mountains up here. It's a place where you're not supposed to go. Yeah, the bridge. They have it
You
blocked
kind of went
off.
behind the fence?
Yeah.
okay.
So,
Up on the golf course.
Oh, this
but yeah, these are just.
Yeah, it's above the golf.
Look at his pretty booth.
Pretty.
All lit, all nice. Look at that shot.
Now, where's the water?
So for me, I kind of just like going out on adventures by myself. It's kind of like me finding a way to get away from everything. Here's a spot next to the windmills, another place you're not supposed to go, but that's what you got to do to get the shot.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
beautiful.
Here's his package. You wanna look at it?
So it was a random rainstorm one day, and I was here next to the windmills.
Now, are these prints or?
Those are
clay or
metallic prints.
Metallic prints?
So I also have the canvases.
So interesting, the metallic prints.
You make the colors very nice. Incredible.
Yeah.
So the funny thing about that picture that you're holding in your hand, that canvas one, is a girl actually stole that photo and entered into a Westways magazine contest and won third
That's where I've
place.
seen you
Yeah,
on
so-
TV.
Yeah, so I got to be on the news and everything for just because a girl stole my photo, entered into a contest, and won
And
third
won.
place.
But
So-
people said, "Oh,
Maybe we
hey, wait,
heard
this
this."
is
Yeah.
this is
So I built up a pretty
Sean's,
good amount of
yeah.
following based on my Instagram, and someone
a girl stole his picture
someone messaged me and was like, "Hey, this is your photo with someone else's name on it."
What did he do, sue it?
No, so people were calling him saying, "Hey, I saw your pic.
Right,
Congratulations!"
yours.
And then he said, "What? That's not my. I didn't submit that. So somebody stole that
The
picture
funny
from
thing
him."
was
And won
that
on
my dad had
Westways.
just thrown
I knew
away
I
that
seen it
magazine.
somewhere.
So I ran to the trash can. At the bottom of the trash can, there was the magazine. I opened it up, and there's my photo. When someone else's name. I also have postcards here, so. Yeah. Yeah, it's like a velvet. It's a velvet mat.
Really,
Yeah, something like that. He told me it was a mat.
Where are we?
That's Tockwitz.
Oh, is it?
Both.
Okay.
So that street right there and that street right there is Tockwitz.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Pretty. It's a suede.
Yeah, suede, velvet. That was the stolen one.
That one.
Yeah.
There's the new hotel. That's the new hotel.
Oh, is that?
I don't know exactly who stole it. They never really gave me like, I mean, I know her name, but I don't know exactly like what she looks like or no. So what they did is I contacted the magazine company and like I had to prove that it was my photo. I gave like the properties behind the photo and all like that, and then told them exactly where it was. I left the magazine at home, but she like said she took it with a phone, a Galaxy S7, but you can't take a photo like that with a cell phone. So, and she also said it was a sunset when it was a sunrise.
Sunrise.
So, yeah.
do they
So
know?
she ended up coming clean, saying that she accidentally thought it was her photo.
Oh, did she?
And
So
she's
did
so
you win
embarrassed.
anything for it?
So yeah, I ended up winning a 2-night stay in Vegas with like tickets to the Blue Man Group. I got.
Well, that's
got-
fun.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
so
worth
I
it.
definitely enjoyed that. That's for
Yeah.
sure. So
Oh, good.
definitely.
Sean, where else do
Yeah.
you show?
And you have enough left for
Oh, this is just my first time, honestly.
Oh,
So-
well,
Very impressive.
Here's a new
Oh.
video. Isn't that
Yes.
terrific?
So yeah,
Feel the suede on that.
thank you.
Suede is called suede.
Suede.
Yeah,
Suede card.
yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Do you do printing at home?
No, I unfortunately do not have the printing at home. I kind of just had to get this get going. So I have a printer in Palm Desert. It's called Canvas Prints, and he is the one that is helping me. His name is Jay Shea. It's in Palm Desert, I believe. It's called
111.
Canvas Arts. So
Yeah.
Okay.
So do you have more pictures as well? Do you
yes,
have a variety?
I have an Instagram.
A quantity of how many pictures ready to go?
Right now, 30.
Because you're going to sell. You're gonna,
Yeah.
I think they're going to sell very well.
So
I hope they do.
I hope so too.
Okay, well, let's.
Where did you get your
That's-
training?
What'd you say?
Your training or your?
Oh, so I mean, I started off taking pictures on my cell phone when I was like, I think it was like senior in high school, and I kind of just liked editing photos. And then my dad got me my first like little camera, and then I went to COD and I took one class, like a beginning, like how to use your camera.
Is his
So-
folder here?
I think
Pass it back.
So, yeah.
I goofed up.
Okay.
This way.
Yeah.
Very nice. I'd like to accept him into the Art Village Fest.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Right.
Cool. Carries, thank you.
Good stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you
Beautiful
guys very
stuff.
much.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Really.
Beautiful.
We will
Thank
see you on the
Really
street.
gorgeous.
Look
Yeah, see you on the
forward
streets.
to
I
it.
appreciate it.
You bet.
Heck yeah.
that.
Thank you for viewing my art.
Thanks for
Oh,
coming.
love
Sorry you had to
it.
wait so long. Okay. And our last vendor
No,
is,
you have two more.
we have two more. Who's the, we have Revenge.
Yes.
Right, where's Revenge? Come on
She's
up.
right here.
Oh, Michelle is there.
Yeah, I was.
Hello.
I shot them on the news actually.
My name is Michelle Citron, and I have a store on Palm Canyon Drive, 222 North Palm Canyon Drive, and we would like to have a booth to show what we have in our store. And I have some items if you need to see.
Sure, love to
Yes,
see a couple.
Love to.
We were thinking a U shape, so either side would be predominantly shoes. So right now there'd be sandals.
Oh.
Oh, it's okay. You wanted to pass on the?
No, we don't need to pass.
Well, I've seen shoes before.
Yeah, we've seen shoes.
And she doesn't have to hand make them. No, I have
No.
not seen those exactly.
They're quite lovely.
The shoes there are between $19.90 and $32.90, so they're moderate price point.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
This is a popular T-shirt that we had designed and printed for our store, so it's an exclusive, which is very popular. We have a lot of cat items, a lot of cat
Are you a
customers.
cat person?
I am,
Oh, okay.
but I don't have a cat.
Yeah.
And these are from Nepal. There's different versions of these around. This is particularly good because it's from a fair trade company, so they look after their workers, they educate their children, and unlike some of them, if you get a thread that pulls out, it's not ruined. You can work it back into the item. So these have been very popular. They're very nice for women that don't want to be completely bare in the summer, so you can pop it over to have a little coverage without a lot of warmth, and you can wear it this
Yeah, or
way
anything.
and this way, and we have a
Weird.
little picture showing the different ways you could go. So that's been a popular one. And we just received these in. These are from New York. They're to be used on your mobile phone, and you can attach this to put your credit cards and money in, and also a mirror to check food in, teeth, and lipstick.
Oh,
So
okay.
those are just some of our things, but they vary depending on the inventory in the store.
And where
Thank
are
you.
you actually located? I mean, who are you next to?
I'm next to the vinyl store. We are actually exactly between Blade's Pizza and West Elm, but across the street.
Okay, then I
So
didn't know you
we're
were
at
street.
222 North Palm Canyon,
Yeah.
so we get lots of people in wanting Mexican food because they're 222 South Palm Canyon.
All right.
And by the way, her store has been, Revenge has been there
Yes.
for many years.
How many
like
years? We
over
don't like
30,
to actually.
right?
Well, we don't need to say that, but we're like the dinosaur on Palm Canyon.
You remember when?
Teenagers together.
Yes.
East Andreas
Oh.
I used to shop there when I was skinny. So that's how long ago it was.
Perfect. Okay, any questions for Michelle?
Oh, terrific.
I'll make a motion to accept Revenge.
And I will second that.
A discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very
Carries.
much. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Michelle, for coming in.
Thank you for your time.
And our last one is Sean Williams, Arts and Crafts, clothing, pea coats, pants, t-shirts, sweatshirts, ponchos, turtlenecks,
Oh, good.
Oliventa clothing.
Hi, Sean, welcome.
Howdy.
How's nice
Everybody doing today?
Just
I'm Sean Oliventa Williams. So Oliventa is my fashion line. I've been designing since I was 15 years old.
Oh my goodness.
I went to Taft High School, Woodland Hills, and that's when I discovered my gift of designing. So now I actually, I've kind of tried to progress the whole business aspect, and I've been actually selling clothes now. So
Good for
you
you.
guys, if you guys accept me, you would be my second, I guess, street fair
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I've done. Yeah, so I'll show you some of my
Who's
stuff.
the first, Sean?
But you're,
Who's the
that?
first?
Pasadena, the Rose Bowl.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay,
so I
good.
sell at the Rose Bowl now.
Uh-huh.
So you guys already have like pictures of my.
Yeah, we've
okay,
got all that.
so
Yeah.
just-
Yeah,
He had the video, right?
yeah, I went online.
I like the shirt you have on, by the by.
He designed that, I know he
I'm
designed
sure.
Ooh.
This is actually.
We need you to be on the mic, huh? You gotta hold it in your hand. Yeah.
So this is actually a design that I designed. It's a raw edge with the French terry. I usually use French terry cotton fabric. And I sourced the fabric out of downtown Los Angeles. And I basically just, design what I like. Yeah, so
Is that for man or woman?
it's actually called a Euro hoodie.
I don't know.
So
Think man.
on the neck, it's a
Both.
cow
think it's
neck.
both.
Is it men or women?
It's unisex.
See?
So
I thought so.
the reason
Then
why I
the
do
answer's
really
yes.
well at Pasadena, and the guy who actually he's like, man, you do so well. So he was like, man, you should try the Palm Springs.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So this is a crew neck. It's kind of it's kind of elongated, and in the video you saw the paisley fabric I was printing out, and I basically added the fabric to the sleeves to give it a,
Do you actually do the sewing?
Yeah, I do sewing as
And
well.
then like on a sleeve like this, purposely you don't stitch it?
Purposely.
Yeah.
It's called raw edge.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Very nice.
I want to feel this fabric. It looks like it. Ooh,
This is
that's nice.
Yeah.
I knew that
this
was
is
gonna
actually a
feel good.
twill fabric. I took a trip to Canada with my girlfriend about 8 months ago, and we saw that a lot of people in Canada were actually the back of their jackets were kind of had what they call a tail.
Right, correct.
And, with the tail you can either put a shoestring in it and kind of make it a crazier design. But I actually got that from Canada and I brought it back out here, and these have kind of been a hit as well. So I kind of make an original pattern with this because I put the elbow patches on the sleeve as well. This one is undone. It's just the
What's
sample.
the material, Sean?
This is a twill.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a twill
You can
material.
feel
And that's
the
cotton.
fabrics are all
Yes.
yummy.
Yeah.
This man's got his act together.
Where did you learn to use a sewing machine?
I lived in San Francisco for 1 year, and I went to the Art Institute, but I didn't finish. I ended up coming back to Los Angeles and finishing my degree in marketing psychology. So,
I know it.
yeah. And I have pants and also peacoats that are actually the same fabric.
Oh.
Yeah.
Stunning. Of course, being cotton.
This is lined. Oh, he's got a zipper in here and everything.
Yeah, so this is what I call a marble / tie-dye. And if you kind of look at the collar, It's the same fabric as this. It's really a rib. So it's called a rib fabric. Yeah.
You need to get on one of those fashion shows. Do your application for that.
Right.
This stuff is
Very nice. What's the price on that one?
far out.
The price on that one is $45.
Yeah.
So I sell my clothes from $45 to $360, depending on the item. So the items with the paisley, they're obviously a lot more because I have to actually design and print that fabric out. But yeah, we print it out as well. But as far as the other pieces, they're a little cheaper.
Yeah. What about the name now? Do you do that?
No, that's embroidery. I just take it to a place downtown and embroiderize. But I barely have embroiderized pieces. I like to let the design and the cut of the pattern kind of sell itself rather than have a whole lot of stuff on the clothing. Yeah. And I also have a booth, a picture of like the way I set the booth up as well.
We didn't pass it around yet.
No.
Okay. You can kind of see. It's just a simple booth, yeah.
Will you have help with you at the booth?
I'm trying to figure that out now. Yeah.
Because you'll be busy.
Right.
I think so.
Right.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay, does anybody have any questions for?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Product and labeling. Nothing about fabric content, where it's made.
Yes, there is. I look, well, you look on the inside lower.
Oh, yeah.
Lower thing, and it's like that, the last one that came around was 50/50 poly,
Yeah.
cotton.
Everything is, has cotton in it, but
there it is.
Yeah.
and then also it should say
Pieces have that?
all of my pieces have that. Yeah, all of them have that.
Okay. Yeah, okay, anything else?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Okay, somebody want to make a motion?
I make a motion that we accept this vendor into Villagefest.
I second it. Discussion?
I just want to say that I don't know of any other like actually custom clothing at
No,
Villagefest, and I
no.
just think it's fabulous because, we have people that do stuff with clothing or make tutus for little girls maybe, but
And
to have
dogs.
an adult
Beautiful.
fashion design out there, that's awesome. And
impressive.
it's opening up a whole new idea for people in Villagefest. It's
You
very
should per-
cool.
You should pursue the TV
No, he won't be carrying
fashion business.
any of this.
Okay,
I've so in like my career, I've done probably 146 fashion shows.
okay, all in
Yeah.
favor? Oh, well, what?
No, Mike was the second.
I second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, it carries. Now finish what you were saying, please.
So I'll just give you guys a resume. So I've probably done 146 fashion shows. I kind of had like a collaboration with Disney for a second in Hollywood when I was like 23 years old. My line is currently in, I think, 4 stores. And I also go to the street fairs and sell all the time. And I've also, I've been on 3 TV shows. As far as
Nice.
the clothing has been on
Yes.
3 TV shows. So
Very, very impressive.
Yeah.
Now, these products in here, you will not be selling.
No, I will be selling those. That's
Which
actually
those are?
my paisley collection, which I'm actually working on now.
Well, and is this how you advertise it? See, the book, I thought, is this manufactured someplace else?
No,
No,
it's
it's
manufactured
here.
in. That's all that's manufactured and
This
designed.
pattern is the same pattern that's on that
That's on
T-shirt.
that one.
Right,
Okay.
right, it's the paisley.
Yeah. And
Very
then-
nice. Okay. All right, so
Nice, very nice.
that's it.
You better have some inventory, because you're
Yeah.
gonna be popular.
Hope so.
Yes.
Hope so.
Okay. Thank you,
Thank
Sean.
you. Thank you.
All right.
We will see you on the street.
On the street.
All right. Thank you, guys. You guys have a blessed one.
Thank you. Unfinished business,
Yes.
smoking signage.
So I did get some signs back. I did not print them off for this board meeting because they came in earlier today, so I will forward them to you tomorrow morning. Just some sample signage with some of the language and what they would look like out on the street. If it's something that you're would like, you can email me back. If it's something you don't like and you're thinking of something else, let me know so that we can continuously work on this project before your next meeting.
Okay. Right. New business, vendor companion animals. I had requested that this be put on the agenda after the problem we had with that dog almost getting hit by the car. And there's a difference between service animals and companion animals. Ask any airline, they're getting real strict about that. And my reason for wanting to discuss this was we probably should come up with some kind of policy on it. And I wanted to get everybody's thoughts on whether we should allow them, or if they are allowed, should they be kenneled? Because if they're busy selling and doing whatever they're doing, they're not paying attention to their companion animal at all. So what do you guys, ladies, think?
Is it a problem, Jasmine, other than the major one we had?
We've had some complaints regarding vendors and their animals, dogs that bark too much, bothering their neighbors and or more merchants that are on the street. So we've tried to encourage all of our vendors not to have their animals. But again, if someone says it's a service or companion, we've kind of looked the other way. So some sort of policy that the board would like would be helpful in staff being able to enforce the board's guidance on the street.
Okay. Anybody else want to weigh in on this?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay, I think it really, in a big way, we should have a standard guideline, but I think it should be case by case, because let's just say there's a person that really depends on this little animal, cannot leave the animal at home. They depend on their crafts, and this is something, in other words, it's a picture. That's the only thing that works for them, and for the safety of both of them, they need each other, and he or she can't leave the animal alone. I'm just thinking of a single person that's how their life is.
That's a good point.
But there are other situations, like the one where it was, I feel that it should be a case-by-case situation.
Okay.
That's my feeling, because of all the factors we can think of right now. It may be a situation where that's really what has to happen for that person, out of kindness and knowing the full situation, which would mean we'd have to really look at it and see them.
Well, I think what you're saying is animals may not be brought in by vendors except on a case-by-case basis to be approved by, whether it's staff or us or the man in the moon, I don't know. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, because I don't want us just to say, oh, no, you can't have an animal at all. I feel that we should, I don't know, we could even have, a task force or a subcommittee, that we go to that booth, we talk to the person, we see the situation, we see the animal, and in that way we would feel more comfortable with saying, we understand why you have this animal with you, why the animal couldn't stay home, or, what is the reason, what is the need? Not just, oh, I take them everywhere, but what is the need that because we don't want any danger to a customer or the public.
Or the animal.
Or the animal, or the vendor. So I just feel like it should be somehow, however that would be arranged, an individual situation.
Tina, I have to agree with you on that. There's some vendors that have older dogs that they need certain medications, they need certain feeding times.
Yeah.
These people do depend on their animals, and one case can't judge everybody's animal. So basically the vendor takes a risk at their own risk by having an animal out there, and it's how much you protect your own animal. I think it should be a case by case.
I just want to say that I think that, I agree with what you're saying, but I think that if somebody wants to have their animal, it should be approved by somebody. Because,
Based on what, though? That's
well,
what-
it, just that, even just to give staff a heads up that they're going to have an animal at their booth. I mean, what if 2 neighboring booths end up bringing dogs there, and there could be a dog fight between them or something? I just think that people should give a heads up to staff if they're planning on having an animal out there for the whole event like that.
Well, suppose we had some kind of written regulation that says vendors are prohibited from bringing animals to Villagefest. They may, however, request a waiver from this rule, which may be approved on a case-by-case basis. That way, we're kind of getting ahead of it, and if they feel that strongly that they need Fluffy to be with them, we probably would approve it, but they would have to explain why, and then we could remind them that, you know, this could be dangerous to the animal, it could be dangerous to other people, and at least we would know where they are.
Or maybe even it could just be that if somebody's going to be bringing their animals, that it has to stay within the confines of their booth, or, you know, because that's, I think, where some of the problems have occurred before, if I'm not mistaken, or...
Yeah, I mean, and also some dogs that bark, and,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
if you're
Yes.
neighboring to a dog that barks for 4 hours straight, it could be very annoying. And
Very.
we've received complaints from merchants whose
Yeah.
there's dogs in front of their storefront that
Yeah,
has
you
barked
wanna-
for hours.
You want to
know how to
move
handle
on.
it.
Right.
Yeah, you really
So-
want to be.
It would be nice if we could, like we did with the cigarette smoking, the soft approach that we discourage it, but on a case-by-case basis, we may allow it, rather than just allowing it and then having to deal with the aftermath of allowing it.
What if we just put in all companion animals must be approved prior to?
How would anybody know, though?
Well, we have to be careful how we define, a companion animal is different than a service
Or a
animal.
service animal.
Yeah.
But we're not even saying that because maybe it's an old-age dog that needs medication or something. They're not a
Yeah.
service, they just need to be there. You know, do they need to be in a cage? Do they need to be leashed? Do they-
Right.
You know?
It gets
do
into
they have
that
to
whole
provide
thing.
water for, I mean, there's a lot of things that go into having a service animal or a companion animal there. So I
Well,
think just
how
it has to be
about-
pre-approved prior to.
Yeah.
How about like a warning if the dog's barking too much, you have one warning, or two, you know, have a complimentary warning that states if this happens again and there's a complaint, either you have to do something with the dog, maybe give it some CBD oil, let it
Yeah,
relax.
there you go. That's fine, but I'm trying to discourage everybody from bringing
just
their
bringing
pet.
theirs.
Everybody has a dog or a cat in this town.
But not everybody brings them, do they?
Not everybody brings them, but if we discourage it and say we will allow it on a case-by-case basis, then it puts us back into the driver's seat. If we don't say that, anything we do afterwards doesn't, you know, it's like the lawyer said, where does it say in the regulations this or that?
Well, could we approach it at their interview time?
I'd rather have something in writing that
Yeah.
we go through,
they
say,
know
at our
how to-
orientation, something of that
Oh,
nature.
That's a good place for
Yeah.
it. That's
Because it's a
that's
little
how
bit more
you-
intimate
Yes.
in terms
Right.
of like direct contact with them and what their products are and what how you're signing up, how you're participating. So if we could come up with some language that discourages
could.
and then says, if it
Okay.
is needed, there is, you know,
One warning.
Rules.
Right.
there's some
Can-
guidelines for having your animal at the street fair, and there could be some, you get you
So-
get a warning, and then after that, then, you know,
We
we
can,
won't allow it at the
we
street
can do
anymore.
this by, again, appointing an ad hoc task force to come up with some simple language.
They also need to be licensed,
Right,
C license.
Yes.
They can't, if they're a female dog and they're in heat, they can't be in the public.
right, so those are guidelines that I
Yeah,
think we
guidelines.
should have
Yeah,
kind of
I
written
think we
out that we
should.
can provide them at an orientation.
Okay.
Okay.
We
Well,
need
Ron,
it-
you have some great ideas.
You do. Ron, could you,
Well,
could
I
you
didn't-
help
remember
help
I
us
had-
with that?
I don't know if I still have it, but the pet friendly?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Pet
Yeah.
friendly.
Pet friendly.
Yeah.
In the context of,
Right, for the vendors.
we want to discourage it, except on a case-by-case basis. We're not saying everybody's welcome to bring their animal and just let us, fill out the form and tell us. We're trying to mitigate the problem. Can you help us with that? Who else would like to work on a task force with Ron? This is an easy one.
I'll work on it with you.
Oh, okay. Do we have a
Since he
third?
didn't want me for CPD.
Okay. Is two enough for a task force?
Yeah.
It is, uh-huh.
I think we're over.
Yeah, 1 or 2 is.
Okay, if you can come up with something, maybe for next time, we can come, that would be wonderful. Okay, great. Thank you, everybody, for persevering. Okay, reports and requests, public, there's no public left. Okay, board comments, 5 minutes per person. Do we want to go around? Does anybody have comments?
I do.
Okay, let's go around.
Okay, Tina.
Ms. Tina, do you have anything?
I did have comment, but it has.
It'll come
it
back.
left me for a moment.
It'll
I
come
was
back.
thinking- I was thinking about the dogs and everything,
Yeah,
so.
all right, when it comes back,
Please
put up your
return,
hand. All right, go ahead.
I know that we have sort of discussed this before,
Mm-hmm.
but I'd really like to see more of a breakdown of what the categories are. Because I think that the crafts category is too large. It doesn't really identify what a lot of those crafts are in it. And I think that if we want to ever, limit a specific category, it's too hard because that crafts category is too hard. And I would like to say that if I could help you to do that and work with you one day, we could just sit down, go through the vendors or something and try to come up with some new categories. I'd be glad to just, help you with
Yeah,
that.
absolutely, because if you could give us some guidance of exactly how you want it broken down, we
Yeah.
can absolutely break it down further. That's not a
Because
problem.
I think that that's just one of the important things really with Villagefest is you want to have a good variety there. You don't want any one category really toppling it all over.
Right.
And the only way we could really do that is if we have a better definition of what those categories are.
Okay.
So I just think that that would be very helpful.
So if we could make some time for that, we are scheduled to give you a new breakdown at the end of March.
Okay.
At your final March meeting. So if we could, in the next 2 weeks, figure
Sure.
that out, then it'd give us time to do all of the breakdowns.
I just think it'll give us a
Absolutely.
clearer picture of what's
That's
on
not
the
a
screen.
problem at all.
So you're our task force for that.
Yeah, I'd be glad to work. It's just a matter of
It won't
looking at
take
the
long.
app
Yeah.
and saying, okay, well, this
Yeah.
one, we can make this new category.
Are you saying that the categories don't comport with our guidelines and the rules and regulations? We have all those different categories.
No, they do. She's just asking for it to be broken down even further. So we have art and craft, but she wants the art and craft to be broken
Oh,
down.
like
could be like
jewelry,
clothing.
soaps, candles.
Right,
I think-
photography.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think since I've been here, I've seen 7 wrapped jewelry pieces. I'm kind of tired of jewelry. I'd like to see some more creative items brought in. Jewelry is at its max as far as I feel.
Well, I think
It's
so.
the same products, and then our merchants, have to deal with that as well. So I think
Julie
there's
has a point.
somehow, the board, we have to figure out how many of what and then reach that limit. And we're at the limit with jewelry right now.
I feel like it, but
and-
I don't know till I see it.
Well, yeah,
and
and
that's why I
that's
wanna-
what's hard
Okay.
is sometimes the board will make mention of, it seems like we have a lot of it, and then you get the breakdown and you're like, well, maybe it's not so much. And some people fluctuate.
So we're gonna get a read on that at the end of March.
Right, now, we will work
And
with
between
Joy
now and then,
directly.
we'll have the categories, and then we can decide, we may wanna.
Yeah.
Right, because you've mentioned a
hold
couple
on.
categories that you
Yes.
want to consider. You said, once you get your next breakdown, that
Okay.
you would consider that. So we'll make sure that
Perfect.
actually breakdown is on your next agenda.
Okay,
So
great.
if you want to take action, you can actually take some
Okay,
action
great.
on it.
Thank you
Thank
very
you for
much.
offering to
Yeah.
do that.
I have a quick point.
Yeah.
We talked about retail stores, and
Yeah.
are we getting too many of them? In our rules and regulations, it's 10%.
Right, and we're not even close to that, it's about 2%.
Yeah.
So, but that came up. Yes, ma'am.
I remember.
She's back. I do that all the time.
The light.
Okay, suggestion. We all really like this.
Yes.
I just feel like this is what we need to receive.
A
This-
guideline.
This,
She did a beautiful job.
it's mix and match, who knows what's
Move
first,
fast.
where's something, and it adds to noise and looking down while they're giving a presentation. It's very clear, the print is big, there's pictures of her making it, there's pictures of every step, where she got it, et cetera, et cetera. I think it's really nice. Yes, it probably costs some money to put it together.
Not
But
really.
it doesn't have to be as fancy, but what is the company, here's the name, here's the booth, here's their making the product. I mean, it doesn't have to be 12 pages either, but if every person had a basic format like this, and I just feel that would help us be more efficient and
So
suggestion.
what you're talking about is creating a template, for lack of a better word, that it's kind of almost like a fill in the blank for any vendor who may not be used to making a presentation or a submittal.
Exactly.
And to do that, we would take what is currently the application and maybe tinker with it a little bit.
Actually, what you can do is take this and use it as an example, scan it,
We could.
and email it out to the potential vendor that's coming in and let them use it as, this is our guideline.
But let's just say some people are not computer savvy or, you know, but.
Or we
but they
could give it to them.
They
We
can
can
go to
hand them-
Staples
say
and
we
get this
want
done for them if they wanted
One page
to.
with pictures, one, second page has your booth, third page has your receipt, you know, whatever,
Yeah.
Yeah.
order.
But, you know,
okay.
So it's
Tina,
concise.
if
and
they're
in order.
artists
Oh, and not, right.
and they're taking pictures, this is like, this could be done very easily for
Well,
like
even
$10.
the jewelry or just what you're.
Well, I think what this is going to require, if we use this, we'd have to take out her name and everything. And that's
Yeah,
not a
of course.
problem. We
But
redact that.
as a template,
As a template, you can keep the pictures in there and as an example, and we can, I'm just thinking out loud.
I love it.
Put this template on the website and say, if you're unsure about how to, but my question to staff is, what does that do to the application process?
you're welcome.
Yeah.
Their face.
Well, the application could go on top of this, just the application part of everything.
I will say that a lot of times people are scrambling, it's their first time submitting, so they're not really sure what to do or they don't speak English. The lady that was here, she was at the office 5 times with her item, so I didn't want to keep putting her off. So
Of
that's why I
course.
said, let's just have her come. I think it's a little difficult for everyone to do it this way, and especially, you know, a lot of people just go to Walgreens and they'll print off a ton of pictures, especially for jewelry, because it makes so many different varieties, and we do request on the application that they submit 6 pictures of each item being made. So it's kind of hard to just put it on one page, like, when they're making
Sure,
multiple
sure,
different
sure.
items. I just feel like I think it's great, but I do feel that it's a lot of,
Well,
a
let
lot
me,
of people aren't.
But even that
computer
format
savvy.
is a basic guideline.
That's a
even for
template,
them.
yeah.
For them, that template
well,
is
let,
needed for those
It'll
people.
make it easier for them.
let me make a suggestion. Would you be able to, and maybe we get another volunteer to do it with you, to look at their application form now? Maybe there's a way we can make it more user-friendly.
Yes.
And still ask for the 6 photos of how you make it, and still say, describe what you're going to do, and this and that and the other. Maybe this is for people that really have their act together, and I have
Yeah,
to
I
be
mean,
honest
that's
with you.
extra
Yeah.
beautiful, but
Today that.
Right, it doesn't have
It can be used
to,
for anybody.
Exactly.
You know, I
Yeah.
make dresses, I have my own design,
Okay.
pictures, I don't know.
Um,
I feel like we could do
It's
something.
definitely a struggle of what we consider Villagefest to be, a local handcraft, small mom and pop event versus a large art and craft festival that is in Indian Wells or Southwest.
Yeah, then you would
require
have this for every
absolutely
single-
like this. So we have a bit of a kind of struggle of this is how we deem ourselves, but this is the expectation. So it's not always easy to ask mom and pop shops, is that a lot of the, as Faith said, a lot of these people, this is their first time event, which is good because that's what we want to be. We want to help people grow. We want to help them get storefronts on Palm Canyon Drive, but that's where they start. And some people just aren't quite at that level. So Faith takes a lot of time trying to get people to even submit what they already have. Vendors come in multiple times to submit what they have, and sometimes it's still not complete.
well, would it be advantageous if Tina or somebody else sat down with the application and with you guys and maybe can figure out a way to make it more user-friendly? Because she's very customer-focused.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, yeah, I would love to get this from everybody. It's not going to happen.
Right. But ideally, if we want to work towards something that is a little bit more than what we currently have, work towards something of that nature.
Yeah, or even make the
I don't
form
think
look
there's
better.
anything wrong
The
with
form
that.
look better when
Form-
it comes
form needs a little
around.
work.
It's in a certain order, not as much stuff. Maybe we don't need 6 pictures of one item. I mean, anyway, I'm happy to work with that if that's
That would
wanted.
be great. Does anybody else want to help with that?
I just wanted to say one thing,
Yeah.
that something like this will help a new vendor get to that professionalism and hopefully help them market themselves better because they have something like this down the road. Maybe not as big, maybe not as elaborate, but the format on this, with the letter of intent is, I just think it's great, and I think that helps people get to where they need to be in their next level of what they're doing.
And you're right. And if you just look at the subtitle, letter of intent, about my company, about
It's easy.
about the artist,
So they could say, I make my own
materials.
jewelry.
Yeah.
You can even put in this piece and leave it blank and let them fill it in. Put in the next piece and leave it blank.
Yeah, and you can say, tell us about your blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I got the stones from Brazil, whatever it is, then they put it
It would
in.
answer a lot of the questions we always have to ask.
We also have to remember, we've been in business 25 years, and this is the first time that we've ever seen somebody so
It was very
professional.
nice.
That's
It
true.
is.
I mean,
That's what
nobody's
you
ever,
Yeah.
I've never seen one like this.
It's
in
very,
my
it's very
5
lovely.
years.
First time.
Okay,
No, we've
so,
had other.
So
Yeah, we've had
between all of
I
it,
just think that if we had something like that, it takes away from their presentation.
well, it does, in a way, it does take away from their presentation. They're making somebody else's presentation and filling in their blanks. It's like a cookie cutter thing.
Right, no, I understand that, but I think it's just, we will all be reading this prior, when they're.
Prior,
and
right.
that was the whole purpose of not
Right.
having all that information, that we're going through this while she's talking and not really paying attention. I sort
I
of think
agree
what we're
with
doing
what you
now
said.
is sort of simple and to the point, and
but what is the difference of going through that and going through that and shuffling through, where's this?
Trying
Where's
to
that?
find it.
I think my point is not about looking, and I agree, I try to lock my eyes on the person when they're speaking. But people are looking through individual things instead of a concise form that has the booth on the 3rd page, the receipts on the 4th page, the pictures of the kiln on the, in other words, a certain order that every time we know. So if we have a question, where did they purchase? Oh, that's the last page. Oh, what's their booth? Okay.
And
That's my point, not to shuffle
Got it.
papers.
And I think that if you can work with staff, I think you can come up with something that's an improved, more user-friendly application, even if it just looks better. I think we can do that. All right.
Sounds good. Okay.
And we can take something like this and use it as a template and just say, if you're unsure, here's an example. But I don't think this should be the application. Because
No, it's
they
not the
won't know what to
application.
do with
It's
it.
the-
No, but you put name, and then you have this wording, letter of intent.
Letter of
So
intent,
their
right.
name and then their letter of
Right.
intent.
Tell us what you want to sell, or what, where do you come from? Who
Yeah,
are you?
We'll combine it.
Yeah,
Make
okay.
it-
Yeah,
We'll make nice.
very nicely. It's very
Thank you.
nice.
I've just lost my agenda.
There we go. Okay, that takes care of. Anybody else have any comments on our board? Subcommittee reports. Do we have any subcommittee? I don't think we do. Oh, we will next week.
All right.
I mean,
We
next
have
2
three
weeks.
new.
Right, Main Street. Hello, Main Street.
Nothing.
Nothing at all. Okay.
Oh, but remember the picnic. I know that you will, but we'll see you at, that's not Main Street.
No.
But it's a
Sure.
other thing.
The
But,
other things.
yeah, March
Villagefest.
24th, 11 to 2, picnic, be there, be square. We got some good food
We'll have a booth.
vendors and other stuff.
In
The
Reef Hardy
picnic.
Park.
Yeah.
Get a hot dog.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah. You have a
And
choice.
staff reports.
She's saying 24th is a Saturday. Hello. Faith and I are trying to figure out what day our birthday celebration is, because the picnic is the 24th.
Correct.
Is that a Saturday?
That's a Saturday.
Correct.
23rd, 22nd.
Is
Yeah,
our
so it's got to be the
Village Fest-
22nd.
Right.
Okay.
So, yes, March the 22nd. I've already sent the invitations to the mayor and council. I'll let you know as soon as I get confirmations from them.
Okay.
But we're gonna do our same thing, get some extra special entertainment, sing happy birthday, and
Do cupcakes?
pass out all the cupcakes that we can.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's fun.
I still have my apron.
I have one too.
Great, bring it on
We
out.
give out cupcakes, it's
Yes.
fun.
Is it the last Thursday?
Can't
or
lick
the-
your
the third
fingers.
Thursday?
This is the third Thursday, yes.
That would be great fun, and let us know what else we can do to help you with
And
that.
we're
That's a
celebrating
lot
how
of
many
work.
years?
27.
Oh, serious?
27, yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, there's got to be a story there somewhere.
And Mike, you have to be there to sing happy birthday.
I will
Yes.
sing happy birthday and give out cupcakes
All
with
the
plastic
cupcakes.
Could you
gloves.
practice a little?
Of course I'll practice a little bit. Just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's nice. We give out like 1,000 cupcakes.
Oh, yeah.
That is not approved.
Not
I want to
approved.
know where that line is.
Yeah, well, ours
One
are
of these
just
years it will be.
CBD, so that's the problem.
Okay, well, that's, that, you have staff report?
That's it. That's all we
Okay,
got.
motion to adjourn, anybody?
I'll make the motion to adjourn at 5:22.
Okay, second.
I'll second that.
Okay, we're adjourned at 5:22 PM. Thank you, everybody.
Okay.